Hello moneymakers, have you come across this channel called The America We Remember? It's one of those channels that you stumble upon, watch a single video out of curiosity, and then before you know it, you've been binge watching for hours. Why? Because they've nailed a niche hardly anyone else is focusing on: nostalgia, history, and food, all wrapped together in long, engaging videos. They've uploaded just a little over 34 videos, and already pulled in nearly 40,000 subscribers. That's not even the crazy part. Some of their videos get a few thousand views, but then others completely blow up. 25 lost African American recipes? Over 1 million views. 25 foods served at Wild West saloons? Almost 1 million views as well. And all of this without ever showing their face. And look closely at their style. These aren't quick shorts or clickbait edits. These are 30, 40, even 50-minute long documentaries. Slow-paced, story-driven, filled with stock footage, AI visuals, and simple editing. Yet people are watching till the end, which is exactly why YouTube keeps pushing their videos. Now here's the best part. If they can do it with just 34 videos, imagine what's possible if you start today. Think about it. One video could change everything for you. And you don't need a big production team, expensive gear, or even to show your face. All you need is a system, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. We'll go step by step, from finding your niche and designing your branding, to writing long scripts that people actually want to hear, generating AI-powered visuals and voiceovers, and finally editing it all together into a video that looks and feels professional. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and watch closely. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact blueprint channels like The America We Remember are using to grow fast on YouTube, and how you can do the same, starting today. Let's get started. By the way, before we dive in, I want to quickly tell you about my exclusive Skool Community. Inside, I share premium resources, proven prompts, step-by-step systems, and insider strategies that I don't share anywhere else. You'll also get direct access to me, weekly live calls, and a network of creators who are building channels just like you. If you're serious about growing faster and don't want to waste months figuring everything out alone, this community is the shortcut. You can find the link in the description and join today. Alright, let's start creating a video from scratch. If you want to make this kind of video, the first thing you need to figure out is what type of topics your audience actually likes. My advice? Spend some time watching similar YouTube videos. Notice which topics get the most views, which ones people are commenting on the most. That's how you'll get ideas for your own content. And if you don't want to spend hours researching, well, that's where ChatGPT comes in. Just open ChatGPT, go to the channel you want to study, and copy all the details from that channel. This way, we don't have to type everything separately. ChatGPT will get all the information in one go. Paste that info back into ChatGPT and ask it to analyze the channel's niche. Boom. ChatGPT will break it all down for you: what's working, what's not, their strategy, and the kind of topics they're using. Now that ChatGPT understands what kind of content you're trying to create, its responses will be much sharper and more accurate. So next, simply ask ChatGPT, "I'm going to create a channel like this. Can you suggest some names for my channel?" And just like that, ChatGPT will give you name ideas. Pick one that you like. Just make sure it isn't already taken. Once you have your name, the next step is a logo. I've already prepared the perfect logo prompt for you. It's in my Google Doc. Just copy it and give it to ChatGPT, and in a few seconds, you'll have a logo that perfectly matches your channel's style. After that, grab another prompt to generate an SEO-friendly description with tags. And that's it, you're all set. Why is this necessary? Because if your description and tags are SEO-friendly, YouTube's algorithm will immediately understand what type of audience should see your videos. Otherwise, it'll take more time for the algorithm to figure out your content. Alright, now our channel is ready. The next step is to start making videos for it. For that, we first need to decide which topics to cover. Like I said before, check out other channels in the same niche. That way, you'll keep getting new ideas for topics you can make videos on. And of course, your AI Maskman is always here to keep everything ready for you. But you know what really hurts? After I put in so much effort, many of you just watch my videos and leave without liking, commenting, or subscribing. So please, Don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below, it really helps. Now to make things even easier for you, I've prepared the perfect prompt to generate video ideas. And trust me, this is not some ordinary prompt. I've spent a lot of time testing and trying different prompts before creating this one. It has all the details you'll ever need. You'll get the link to this prompt doc inside my free Skool Community. The link is in the description below. Alright, now you just have to give this prompt to ChatGPT, and boom, it'll generate 15 topic ideas for you. Go through those ideas, review them, and if you feel like making a few changes, you can tweak them as you like. That's how you'll finalize the topics for your videos. Now it's time to move on to the heart of the project, script writing. And as always, ChatGPT is here to help. But before we jump back into ChatGPT, let me show you something. If you look closely at this channel's videos, almost all of them are more than 30 minutes long. Some even cross 1 hour. And maybe that's the secret behind how this channel grew so fast in such a short time. So we don't need to overthink it. We'll use the same strategy. We'll also make long, detailed videos. Because the longer the video, the higher the watch time, the better the retention rate, and that's exactly why YouTube favors longer videos. But here's the catch. ChatGPT can't generate a super long script in one go, so you'll need to follow my method. Open my Google Doc again, go to the script writing prompt, add your chosen topic inside it, then copy that updated prompt and paste it into ChatGPT. That's it. You'll have your script ready step by step. ChatGPT will not give you the full script at once. First, it will create a script structure for you. Your job is to review that structure carefully and, if needed, add or remove points to make it fit your vision. Once that's done, you'll guide ChatGPT step by step. Start by telling it to write the introduction, then move on by asking it to continue with point 1, then point 2, and so on until the entire script is complete. While doing this, make sure to copy everything into a Google Doc so your script stays organized. This way, you'll end up with a detailed, lengthy script, and also have the freedom to modify each section as you go. And with that, our script writing step is complete. Now let's move to the next stage, the one that truly brings your video to life: finding visuals and footage. A script on its own is not enough. You need the right content to match it. The visuals you add will decide how engaging and powerful your final video becomes. So where do we get this material? Let me explain step by step, but wait. Before we move ahead, I've got something special for you. If all this feels like too much work, or maybe you just don't have the time to do it yourself, I've created a done-for-you program. In this, my team and I will handle everything for you. Finding best niche, researching winning topics, writing scripts, finding visuals and footages, creating thumbnails, editing videos, and even optimizing SEO. I've already worked with many clients and helped them get their channels monetized in less than 2 months. So if you have the budget to outsource the work and want me and my team to manage it for you, you can book a free call with me using the link in the description. Now, let's get back to the video. Suppose I've chosen the topic, surprising meals that were served in American prisons. From here, we'll start looking for visuals that connect with the story. Prison buildings, cafeteria scenes, old photographs, trays of food, and documentary-style shots. When these visuals are paired with your script, your video will immediately feel alive and ready to grab attention. Apart from that, you can also find a lot of stock footage on sites like Pexels, Pixabay, and Canva. For example, if my topic is about prison food, I can simply download footage of prisoners or scenes where they are eating. In the same way, you can collect videos and photos based on your topic. You can also use Pinterest, because sometimes it has unique videos and images that are not easily found elsewhere. The idea is simple. As you go through each food item in your script, collect images and videos that match it. If for some reason you can't find exactly what you need, that's where AI comes in to help. Just head over to my Google Doc, copy the image prompt from there, and paste it into ChatGPT. Now we won't generate prompts for the whole script at once. Instead, take it step by step. Copy one paragraph of your script, mention how many image prompts you want for that paragraph, and paste it into ChatGPT. It will then generate highly detailed prompts for you. Once that's done, move on to the next paragraph and repeat the process until you have all the prompts you need. Now that you've collected your prompts, it's time to generate the images. I personally use ChatGPT Plus to create them, but you can use any image generator that gives you the best results. For this step, simply open a new ChatGPT chat, copy the prompts, and paste them there to get your final images. From the options, I'll select Create Image, and there we go. ChatGPT generates a perfect, natural-looking image for me. Now let's try generating another one. And here's the result. It looks amazing. In the same way, you'll keep generating images one by one until you have everything you need. All of these images I've shown here were created using ChatGPT. So now we have almost all the content ready for our video. The next step is voiceover. If you're comfortable recording your own voice, that's the best option. But if not, you can always use AI voices. Just make sure you're using a tool that generates natural-sounding voices. For now, let's go with 11 Labs. In 11 Labs, explore their voice library and find a voice that fits your video's style. Once you've chosen the voice, paste your script into the tool. For my video, I selected the voice called Declan Sage, but you can pick whichever suits your content best. Generate the voice, download the audio file, and that's it. Your voiceover is ready. Now we've got all the material prepared, so it's time to start editing. I personally use CapCut, but you can use any editor you're comfortable with. First, open CapCut and import all your materials. Add your voiceover track to the timeline, and then start adding the images and footage one by one, matching them with the audio. Now here's something important. The footage I'm using looks very colorful, but since my video is about old prison foods, I want to give it a black and white look. For that, simply apply the black and white effect and adjust the texture and range until it looks authentic. But sometimes the footage might be in vertical format. So how do we use that in a horizontal 16:9 video? It's simple. Stretch the video to fit the 16:9 format, then go to Effects, search for Blur, and add that blur effect to the background. After that, place the same video on the top layer in its original vertical form. This way, the background stays blurred and fills the screen while the main video remains vertical in the center. And that's how it will look. Pretty cool, right? Keep adding your footage and images one by one, and make sure to switch them every 5 to 6 seconds so the video doesn't feel boring. You can also go into the Adjustments panel and lower the saturation a bit. That will give your images and videos a nice black and white effect. Of course, you can manually adjust everything to suit your style. Next, you can add animations. This makes even still images look alive by adding subtle movement. If you've generated images using ChatGPT, they'll usually be in a 4:3 ratio because ChatGPT doesn't generate them directly in 9:16 or 16:9. No problem, just stretch those images to fit the frame properly. After that, add text templates to highlight the names of each food item. For example, in my video, the first point is prison loaf, so I'll simply type prison loaf on screen. You can do the same by placing clean, simple text wherever needed to make your video more engaging. Just remember, don't overdo it with flashy fonts or funky styles. Keep it neat and professional. Once that's done, add transitions between your clips. Stick to simple ones like light fades, black fades, or dissolve effects. These keep the video smooth without distracting from the content. And finally, generate subtitles. From the templates, choose a clean subtitle style with simple animations so your viewers can follow along easily. And that's it. Keep editing like this and your video will be ready in no time. Now, the video is done, but to actually get people to click on it, we need a clickable thumbnail. Let me show you how to make one. First, take a screenshot of your competitors' thumbnails, just like this. Then, upload those screenshots to ChatGPT and write, "My competitors create this type of thumbnail." I also want to generate a similar type of image based on my script and topic. Could you generate the thumbnail image in 16:9 without text? I will add the text myself. And there you go. ChatGPT will generate a thumbnail image for you. Next, simply ask it. Also suggest me some text to write in it. ChatGPT will then give you catchy, clickable lines. Once you've got the image, download it and head over to Canva. Click on the thumbnail icon and upload the image you just created with ChatGPT. Remember those PNGs we downloaded earlier? I'll use one of them, for example this red box, and place it on the upper side of the thumbnail. Now go to text, pick a clean font template, and add the line that ChatGPT suggested. Place it neatly on the thumbnail, adjust the size, and that's it. Your thumbnail is ready. So guys, that was the complete process of making a video in the Vintage America food niche. I hope you found this guide useful. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, then don't leave without hitting like, share, and drop a comment below. It really motivates me to keep making more useful content for you. And now, let's take a look at our demo video so you can see exactly how everything comes together. Remember, this is just the beginning. The more you practice, the better your videos will get. So don't just watch. Start creating your own channel today. Who knows, your next video might be the one that goes viral.
Food is more than fuel, it carries memory and culture. But in America's prisons, meals told another story: survival, punishment, and cost-cutting. From military rations to Depression-era recipes, these trays held more than food. They reflected history itself. Today we'll uncover 20 surprising meals served in American prisons, some shocking, some oddly nostalgic, and all unforgettable. So picture the clang of metal trays and the echo of a prison hall as we revisit the forgotten foods of life behind bars. Number 1. Prison loaf, the punishment bread. Imagine sitting down to a meal not with a plate of food, but with a single heavy brick of baked mush. That was prison loaf, one of the most infamous meals in American correctional history. Prison loaf, sometimes called disciplinary loaf, was never about taste. It was about control. Made by blending together beans, vegetables, bread, and whatever leftovers were on hand, the mixture was baked into a dense, tasteless loaf. No seasoning, no variety, just a block of calories designed to meet minimum nutritional standards. The origins of prison loaf can be traced back to the mid-20th century,